All right, let's now bring in Patrick Bond. He's a political economist at the University of Johannesburg. Hello, Patrick. The reality is, no matter who wins, they've got a massive task on their hands. South Africa is the most unequal society in the world. We have very, very poor people. We have poverty, high unemployment. Is there any one party or configuration of a party in a coalition that has the best chance of righting that imbalance?
Well, thanks for having me, Sally. I mean, the main point about Sunitra Naidu's observations is that if below 50%, probably between 40 and 50, the ANC will have to co-govern. And the really crucial dilemma we'll only learn on June 2nd is, will that be around 45 to 50 or that's sort of the terrain that the scenarios suggest. And if it's 45 to 50, it may well be that a more conservative alliance partner, which would accept President Ramaphosa and his economic policies, would prevail. But if it's below 45, it may be that the ANC, and they could even dispense with President Ramaphosa, bring in his deputy, Paul Mashatile, because they'll need to have one of the two new parties, well, Economic Freedom Fighters from 2013, and now the new MK party of former President Zuma, brand new party. And those two are anticipated to get between sort of 7 and 12%. Now, those are the sort of, let's say, parameters in which we can say, well, which policies will be adopted. It might be center-right or it might be center-left, depending on whether it's closer to 40 or closer to 50.
And what do you think would be best for the people of South Africa? Because at the end of the day, South Africans want change in the sense that they want better opportunities to work, better opportunities to make a living and to improve their lives.
I know, and I think some of those opportunities would come from a full rehab of our very broken infrastructure. Here we are in Johannesburg in one of the university suburbs, no water at night, Melville. And so this is one of the moments where we sort of say, well, could you put a lot of people to work fixing the pipes and connecting the solar power and connecting roads and better rail systems through bottom-up infrastructure? If that's your perspective, you probably would want the lower ANC, so they unite with the Economic Freedom Fighters who have that sort of perspective. However, if you like the status quo and you think it's free markets and particularly to attract foreign direct investment, then it would probably be this center-right party, the Inkatha Freedom Party or African Christian Democratic Party. Now, the dilemma is that they've been basically using the center-right agenda, liberalizing, trying to invite in foreign direct investment, and it hasn't worked. And one of the reasons is that huge growth sector of renewables, of solar and wind and the pumped storage for energy, that hasn't really been given a chance except for some private sector and the middle class, those of us who sort of want to protect ourselves from the electricity cuts, so we're putting it in. And that's the real dilemma, is to cross-subsidize if you're on the left, to make sure that everybody can get some sort of solar or, let's say, a renewable energy system and better roads. The potholes here are terrible. Clear water, sanitation, and I think it would probably have to be the Economic Freedom Fighters as a partner to push that agenda. As we saw just before this election, the ANC has moved to the left with national health insurance, with a basic income grant. These are promises. They may take decades, but I think it's that sort of pressure from the left that will move the society to mop up that unemployment and solve social problems.
All right. Thank you very much for chatting to us. That's Patrick Bond. He's a political economist at the University of Johannesburg.